Hello, 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 and welcome to Each One Teach One podcast. I am your host, the Fabulous Camille Robb. And guess what? You guys are in for a special treat today. Pay attention, grab your pen and your paper because some nuggets that you're going to get, you're not going to find it anywhere else. So, are you ready? Because I have one of the most amazing young lady that's going to be speaking to you guys today. And I don't know about you. I'm ready. I have my pen, I have my note, and I'm ready to take it. So I want you to welcome Dr. Dame Shatira. Come on up, girl. Let's have a conversation. Come on.
Oh my goodness, you're so funny. I love it. How are you?
I am absolutely fabulous, darling. I am so glad you finally got to come on my show today.
I'm so happy to be here.
I know. I'm so excited.
I know.
So,
I absolutely adore you. Thank you for asking me in a world of options. All the people who love you, you asked me today, so I appreciate that.
I like real people.
Thank you. Listen, I am not a bot. This is a human over here, so I'm a real person.
I'm just saying I like real people because
I know.
I've talked to a lot of fake people that I'm like, let's not go there. Let's stay positive today.
You have so many answers to that question, that statement. There's so many things I could say. So
Yes.
I am a real person.
And I love it. I love you being real. I like real people because real people get things done.
Yeah.
The rest of people always say and say and say, and they don't do it. So I want you to tell my audience a little bit about you because a lot of people see people and don't know where they're coming from to get where they are.
Yeah.
And I want you to tell my audience a little bit about you and who this beautiful Madame Dame is sitting in front of me and what she's all about.
Well, you know what? Number one, again, thank you for having me. As you've already introduced me, I do have a life filled with lots of exposure to many different things. And we all have our background. So it's neither here or there. It doesn't really make, the character of who you choose to be in this life. I look at everything as lessons. So I am Dame Dr. Shatira. I grew up here in Chicago, Illinois. My life had many afflictions like most. And I say afflictions, I would say lessons of love. That's what I'll say. I was homeless from the age of 14. I'm very thankful to my parents, as I say all the time, for being the ones in this life that chose to aid me in what experiences I decided I wanted to have when I got here in this level of life. So it's yada, yada, yada. Who doesn't have one? I don't really live in the past, but when you ask, who am I? This is why I'm who I am, because of the exposure of greatness in my classroom of life. So there you go. That's who I am. A person who decided to thrive amongst those in this world who sometimes made me look and feel as if the potential of that could not happen because I didn't have that initial foundation. And the foundation in my mind is one where a person leaves their home. See, when you have your foundation, you can go take a shower. You can do everything you want to do to get your day started. When you exit the home, you're entering the world with all the options you create. And I didn't have that solid foundation. So I looked at where I was standing and said, hey, this is just going to have to be my foundation. And I made it work. And it was a lot of fun proving to people that I could be beyond their expectations in ways that they couldn't even do for themselves with their foundation. So that's all.
Oh, wow. I just got the chills.
It's so funny. Well, you ask me who I am. I don't focus on all the negative because I look at it as if it was a really great experience for me. That's why I'm who I am.
And the key is the
experience. I knew I was not at that time going to be able to afford college. So I guess they said, we'll just put her in the classroom of life. That'll be her college. I learned all my lessons.
And that's the best lesson.
Yes.
The best lesson because it teaches you what you need to do, how you need to do it, and how to get to the next level.
Exactly. the experiences of life. You know, a lot of people look at it as if they're just moving, but everything, God, the divine order, everybody on the other side of love are working in your behalf. And you have a lot of friends and family that choose to as well. You know, it just depends on
It's
your
a
friends.
blessing. It's a blessing. It's a
Yeah,
blessing. It's a
yeah,
blessing.
yes.
Now, what caused you to decide on being an entrepreneur? Because that's the big talk. Because people think entrepreneurship is easy, but what caused you to decide to be an entrepreneur?
Well, you know what? I will say, I don't really speak in a lot of darkness. I try to see the good in everything. If a tree is on fire, I would say, wow, that tree is on fire because it decided to leave here strongly because it knows it's coming back healthier than ever. So the fire is removing all the darkness. Okay. That's how I look at everything. So you won't hear me say a bunch of negative stuff. But what caused me to become an entrepreneur was the fact that I would see how people were living in some areas of life. And I would just like, I remember being in cars with people and I would see somebody in just a vehicle I like. And I would say, oh my God, what do you do for a living? How did you do this here? How did you do that? And they would tell me. And then I would look at the other people who I would hear how they struggled and how, you know, and struggle doesn't mean that it's on struggle can happen on all levels. But
Mhm.
I knew that, for example, this lipstick I'm wearing, I love it. I knew that I wanted to be able to at least have the best lipstick that lasts long. And I knew that couldn't happen with me going to work and using my check because they were going to give me enough money to buy the lipstick that came off every time I ate, if that makes sense.
I love that example. I love that example.
And that's how I look at everything. Everything, you know, we are creators of our experience here, right? So if you come here, one of my friend's husbands said to me, he said, Shatira, you know, every single thing that we do, I want to at least taste the best of it. So if in this moment, if I can get on the plane, if I add just a couple more dollars, I can do first class because I can always go back to where I came from. But in the midst of creating the life that we're trying to do, it has to feel like something of value. And that's exactly how I look at it. I want to know that because I decided to do this, I'm going to at least touch some of the things that I desire. It does not come easy, but easy is a mindset. And so is difficulty. It's a
Yes.
mindset. Challenge is a mindset. If you're open to winning, you understand, even if you're in a race, if you're a runner, you have to prepare for it. Okay. Your bank account looks the way it does because of you, not because of anyone else, unless you signed up for someone to give you the bank account amount through your job. And having a job is a great thing. But as an entrepreneur, your bank account looks the way it does because of you.
That's
All right.
right. That
And
is so
and
true.
and that's how I look at everything. So that's why I became an entrepreneur, just to see what it looked like. Because I can always go back to getting a job. They're giving them out all the time.
Oh my God. You make it sound just so easy and flawless. And it
But that's
is
how you
the
have to look at life.
experience.
You have to look at life like that. Like it's easy
Yes.
because you're living your thoughts. You're living your thoughts. And you want your life to feel easy because if you put before you difficulty, like I hear a lot of people say, oh, well, you know, you got to crawl before you walk. I never will agree with that. I'm not the person in the room. Now, there could be thousands of people who had to crawl before they walk, but that would never be me. I'm not a person that needs to crawl. I just believe that the doors of prosperity will open up to me. Every single day I wake up, I ask God, I say, show me the blessings you have for me today. And my friend, Dame Shanita Ray, reminded me to do that. And then I also add in that because if you show me the blessings you have for me today, I know that there's only possibilities waiting for me. That's it. It's miracles waiting to happen. So then you create the process of your walk. But if you create that you're going to crawl before you walk, then shame on you because you will be doing so. I don't expect that. I don't think that's in my world. And I don't even say yes to people I understand when they speak it because I don't want what we don't see in the ethers of spirit, of energy to even think that I'm okay with that process because I'm not. I'm not okay with that process. Where
I'm
there's
not
God,
either.
there is fulfillment. And I don't think I have to crawl.
Where there's God, there is fulfillment.
Yes,
Show me the blessing that you have for me
today. Because
today.
I want to see it today. I mean, I expect it tomorrow already, but I want to see it today. Show me
Yes.
all the offers that are coming my way. That's what I want to see today. And when you
Oh,
do that and you live that and you feel that, it is happening. Because we meet many people. I know a lot of people who speak these words, they say these words, they do things with intention, and we all do. We do things with intention, sometimes even in our unawareness of it. But you're not living it. And it's because if you're not living it, it's only because the totality of you is not in 100% belief of it.
I
That's it.
agree with that 100%.
That's it.
100%. I believe that.
Yep. And the only thing I want to tell them again as to why, I became an entrepreneur. One of the things that I've learned is that, again, which I said all the time, you never attract what you desire. You only attract who you are. So in business or anything, if you expect to be in lack, you will have exactly that. I
Are you
expect.
guys listening to that? You are what you think, okay?
Yes.
That's what
Well,
if you did not get that big nugget, you better write it down. You are what you think. Wake up, people. Dr. Damie's over here telling you that you have to be ready for whatever you put out.
yes.
Write it down
Yeah.
because you might have missed it. I'm telling you, I'm taking my notes now because I'm going to come back when it comes to the reflecting part. I'm going to come back and I'm going to let you guys know this is serious.
It's very
You
serious.
have people that think negative thought and they wonder why they're struggling so much.
Yeah.
Come on, you have to.
Yeah.
That was so powerful.
You're struggling because you're creating it. You expect it. And then they believe it so strongly, they share this information with other people. So now you've opened a door for your belief system, but now you've brought on 5 other people who believe this for you. You're going to live it.
and you're definitely going to live it. It's
live.
just an example, like you just gave an example, because when I first started my daycare, I had one child in my daycare, one, and she was there for a year by herself. And she just graduated from college as a doctor.
Wow.
Dr. Lanisha Bright. When she first came there, this girl, she was always sick. Nose always snotty. Come to me Monday, snotty nose. I fix her. On Wednesday, she's good. Thursday, she's good. Friday, she's good. And then she showed back up again Monday, sick again. And I used to say to her mom, she have to become a doctor because she gonna have to figure out why she gets sick and why she. And I used to be a nurse and I used to have my stethoscope and I used to walk around and to check her because she's always, and I have to figure out what I'm going to give her to get rid of that, congestion that she had. And she would take my stethoscope and she would walk around the school in the daycare and says, oh, he's sick. He can't come. He's sick. And she'll point them out and take it, put it in her ears and check him. And I told her mom, she's going to be a doctor.
Wow.
She graduated Friday as Dr. Lanisha Bright. So
That
you are what you think. And exactly what you tell your kids they're going to be, if you don't enforce it, like you said, somebody else would open their mouth, say something, and you adopt to their principality. I don't.
You imprinted upon her her future. And it's the same thing people do when you're born. When you come into this world, for example, you're given all the religious beliefs of the family you're a part of. You're given the do's and don'ts of their belief system. And people take that on and they create it even more. And when you decide to be different from that, that's what makes you the black sheep. That's kind of what I became.
Welcome to my world.
That's what I became because I love the idea of being an individual in my world. I love that because I don't really care what people think. I mean, if people only knew how much I cared, they probably would never call me. Like, they just don't know how much I don't care. I don't even know how I can be like that, but I just don't care. I've decided to love me so much that I'm never impressed upon their
Say that again. I decided to love me so much.
Yes.
Because a lot of people fail to love themselves.
Yes, that's what it's all about usually.
I can talk to you all day because positive energy that comes from this conversation is very, very enlightening because a lot of people are so negative.
Yes.
Ah,
But
well,
they live in negativity because they don't see it as negative. Your mind, you can only move forward in this life with the thoughts that you understand are normal for you. So if you don't remember ever being a success of anything, you will never see you as that way. So you become addicted to what is your normal experience.
now see, I can keep going and keep going, but my Nim is back there saying, "Hey," with her finger, "Hey."
Yeah.
So one of the things people don't realize is what is the ups and downs of becoming an entrepreneur. What is it?
Well, the ups and downs of one of the ups, number one, is that there's always the potential that you get to not only change your life and bring in all the good you desire, but you get to change your family's lives and people you love lives. It's kind of like a cup of wine. You can start out with the $3 bottle, but in the success of business, you get to introduce everybody to $100 bottle. And even though they can't do it themselves, they get to do it through you. And even in that moment, it becomes a life-changing experience in a good way because you decided to be an entrepreneur. The downside of that is that as you're moving through life, on your lifespan of success, you will always pick up the leeches and the snakes and those who decide that they want to attach themselves to you and be, the bloodsuckers of your frequency and your money and your life and entitlement and everything that in your mind's eye you thought was just the idea of you being a good person. And sometimes it can make you feel as if you've made bad decisions and put you in a corner of loneliness. Well, a lot of times they say it's lonely up top. Well, it's only lonely because the people you're hanging out with weren't able to come with you. So you have to be able to meet new friendships and bring in people that are very much like you. I always say that I am big on reciprocating relationships. But then there's always a risk of, what we look at as failure. And failure, in my mind, is a place when you've decided to not even try. Because if you die with your song in you, that is a failure. But if you produce the best songs you felt were good and you lived them in the moment and you made even $2 versus 10, you're a success. Because there's so many people on the outside looking at that wouldn't even run their own cup of water. But you created the moment and you made it happen. So you also get the opportunity to change your mind and you get to recreate. It's all an illusion that you get to just create in this life. So that's how I look at failure. You failed if you didn't even try.
I like that.
And that's the
That
down.
that is true. That is true. That is true. One of my mentors told me that if you don't try, you already failed.
Yeah, you did it. So if you tried it and it didn't go the way you want, you get to change your mind. Do it 1,000 times. We're the only ones that put caps on how far we should go. Oh, I'm 25. I can't do this at 25. Why not? You can do everything you want. You're gonna be here. You exist in this plane for that reason, to create.
To create.
Yeah.
There you go. Another.
You following what your family told you should look like it. At 89 years old, I'm still rocking red lipstick. I'm sorry.
You got that right.
I love it.
Age is just a number. It's not going to
just,
stop me, honey.
yeah.
It's just a
And
number.
it's one of those things where you put the stipulations on yourself again, and now you're living the thoughts of others versus the thoughts of you. You have to be in control of what your future looks like, and you got to stay. You have to be tenacious. You can't let the sidelines of people change that. Now you can get some good advice, and some of it may work for you, but only change your mind when you decide to. Because all it takes, you can have 100 hits, but all it takes is one.
Yes.
All it takes is one big hit.
Yes.
And it will feel as if you've been working, oh my God, that one time. You wasted 99 times. But
to get that one hit. My grandmother she always said that. Yes, all it takes is that one moment.
It's the truth.
One moment.
And always remind yourself why you're doing it. Even me as an entrepreneur, I always say, is this really worth it? Is it? Of course it's worth it. Because I see how it's changing other people's lives. Everything in life is not about me. everyone on the other side, God and all the hosts of heaven, they all know that I'm a little bit spoiled. If you give me $5, you know I'm spending $1 on some lipstick. Okay? Thank you. I'm gonna share $4. But I mean, that's why I'm here. I'm one of the spoiled ones. You did it to me, God. I didn't do it to myself. I didn't know what this felt like in this physical form. You introduced me to it, and I love what it feels like putting on my lipstick and painting this body, because I understand I'm spirit first, having this human experience, and then doing this with my character created and given to me. I like dressing it up and making it pretty with things I like. So I'm going to spend $1 of that $5.
I love it. You got to love you, baby. You got to love you first.
And that's how you have to look at life when you decide to be an entrepreneur. You must indulge in your experiences you're creating a little bit, because it feels and reminds you that you're on the right track. If not, you'll get bored and walk away, and you won't see the value in it.
You get bored and walk away. Now, what advice do you have for the upcoming entrepreneurs?
For the upcoming entrepreneurs, it kind of ties into my last statement, but I'm gonna stick to this. For upcoming entrepreneurs, no matter what, make sure that you only, because this is one of the things I do, because a lot of times you guys are looking for mentors and everybody who can help change your life.
Mm-hmm.
Only, because this is what I do again. I'm just gonna say it. Only listen to those who are living, who are experiencing,
yes,
who you can see and understand financially have some of what is inspiring to you. Because when you decide to become an entrepreneur, I don't care if you're running water. You're going to have a million people. Oh, I know how to run water. I make the best water. I'll pull it from this well. You don't want it from a well. You want it from the most golden ocean. And those are the people you're talking to. You don't want the advice from the catfish who cannot get out of their pond. You want the advice from the sea bass. And they will say to you, the catfish, who do you think you are? Why do you think you're better? You know why you're better? Because your mind is better. You're asking better questions. You're talking to people who are living better.
Yes.
You're talking to people who are getting financial abundance better. And you expect to live better in your experience as an entrepreneur. And if that's arrogant, too freaking bad. You can monitor losers all day
long. I agree.
Live, speak, or even communicate in ways that create abundance for you with the sea bass too often. So when they allow you in their pond to feel their golden frequency of water, you accept and remove yourself from the top of the catfish, because they can't even get out. That's why they're at the bottom. That's my best way of telling you that. And
I love it.
Like you think you better, but you are better because you know better things to ask. That's what makes you better. That's what makes you better. It's not anything tangible. It's just that road to success can lead you towards the road of your dreams. The catfish find each other trying to get out, and you want to ask them for advice. Then you have to ask yourself, what do you really want? Do you want success, or do you want the approval of the people around you? Because they all take it personal when you don't listen to them.
That is so true.
It is so hard for the catfish to see that they can't swim high. And you at the top, you getting glimpses of the sun. And they still don't want to believe that they're wrong. They don't want to believe you don't want to be in murky waters. You don't want to be a part of loss. I'm not listening to a person on the bus tell me how to buy the best car. It ain't happening. And you can take it personal all you want. That ain't even my lane of conversation. That's the best way I can say it.
I love it. I love it.
You're not gonna tell me how to sit on the throne when you're still on the toilet. And you have to be excited about living in your truth as an upcoming entrepreneur. You have to live in your truth. That's the only way. Look at me, I'm fixing my eyes. It's the only way you can live in wholeness of where you're expecting to go. You got to be honest. It doesn't mean you don't love these people. It could be your family. You just have a better expectation. And the only way for you to do it is to see that it exists. Because everybody that's living the dreams and the ideas of what feel like something where you want to go, they're humans just like you and I. They're human. It's no difference between them and you. The only thing they did different is they shifted the way they think.
Their mindset.
And they decided to stay the course of where they knew they wanted to go. And they look at the people, whether you know them or not, and they figured out how to swim in that water. That's it. You leave the catfish where they are. They'll be there when you come back. They'll be there.
Leave the catfish alone, people.
Leave them where they are.
It's
like not that place. It's just that that's where they see themselves. It's not personal. So it's not that you think you better. You just got a better expectation. I have people say this to me all the time. Oh, for example, I like your car. Oh, but I'm not a car person. And you know what I say? Well, did you come on the bus? And they say, no, there's my car right there. Oh, well, you are a car person. You just didn't like the cars that I like.
Exactly.
So that's how you have to look at it.
And you are what you think, baby. You are what you think. Now, let's get into this restaurant.
Huh?
Let's get into the restaurant idea now. Why did you choose, of all the things, to be in the restaurant field? Why?
I know. I'm going to tell you. And it's so weird. Like I just told the upcoming entrepreneurs. For me, I'm the kind of person that believes I can do anything. I don't even know where I get this from. I just believe if there's a light post outside, if I decide I want to create my own style, I could do it. I don't even know why I think this. I just do. Okay. And it's probably because of the belief system of coming from feeling like I had nothing. Because I always feel like I have nothing to lose, if that makes sense. And you can do that. You can look at life that way, in a good way or a negative way. Just depends on how you choose to expand your horizon. However, I chose the restaurant world because I'm also a philanthropist. I became one years ago. I felt like maybe I should just, give people compliments, or give them this, or give them a smile, or show them how I can help them. And who am I to help people? Because I remember when I had absolutely nothing and I was homeless, I would tell people like, oh, you can do this here, you can do that. And they would say, how you going to tell me, girl, you ain't got nothing? And I would say, oh my God, I do. I have everything. You just don't know it. I'm telling you. And it sounds crazy and it sounds delusional. But I started branching into the restaurant world because I just felt like, I'm not going to do all the research, which is bad advice. Don't take that, guys. But I set up, because I know me. You got to know yourself. If I know all the work involved in anything, I'm not going to do it because I'm I'm very lazy. I don't like the work. I've already told my husband in my next life, if he doesn't come back a king, I'm not marrying him. I'm just going to marry rich. And he says he's going to come back a king. So we're going to see. I might be a princess. So to make a long story short, I chose the restaurant world because I didn't know all the work involved, but I knew whatever it was, I could tackle it. And that's how you have to look at things, because that creates tenacity for me. Because when I'm in a field that I know nothing about, I know I'm going to do research. I'm going to do everything it takes to be the best at that as I can be. Okay. I chose this field because as a giver and a philanthropist, I'm always giving directly to people in some kind of way. Every single day of my life, I help one person at least. Okay. And I said, God, it has to be a better way where I can reach people, because even in food, even as a franchisee with Edible Arrangements, as you know, I bought those franchises years ago, and I still own several Edible Arrangement franchises. It feels like I'm gifting. It feels like I'm giving, even though they're purchasing. It is feeding the soul. It is something that people need, right? So in my mind as a philanthropist, I'm thinking, wow, this is great. I'm going to create great food. And then I created my own seasons and my own sauces. And I just sat back to watch to see if they liked it. And they loved it, because I'm like, wow, this is so fun watching people love my food, But then I thought, and I said, this could be bigger than this moment of purchasing. I could also help people who are in need. And that's how Chicago Chicken Shack Cares was born. And that, as you know, Chicago Chicken Shack Cares.org, what I do, I feed 500 to 500 families plus a month, right? But it's always been 1,000 people or more, it seems, every month. But that was an entry to my next level of giving. Because when you ask God to show you the next step of success, you don't know what the road looks like. But when you look over your life, you can see how it all made sense. I can literally see how me feeling as if I had nothing propelled me to understanding what it felt like in my world of having everything I desire. For the most part, is always growth for me. But to know that I'm capable of touching my dreams is like, wow, because all the naysayers never thought I could. And even in this, not only am I touching my dreams through the restaurant world, I'm touching other people's moments. Wow. And that's what it's about. And I love that. And then we all get to have a little bit of fun because I sell consistency and my franchisees get to sell in that moment their dream. And I love that. It's life-changing. So that is exactly why I got into the restaurant world, because I knew it was bigger than me. It could help thousands.
So you just answer the other question, you know.
I'm sorry.
No, but I love it because you already answered it. You know, the question was what as a restaurant, what the restaurant field have done for you to change your life. You just said it. It's allow you to change other people's lives and be a blessing to somebody else. For me, watching it evolve, it's a beautiful thing because I've seen it. Oh, one more, and then I watch you feed 500, 1,000 people. A lot of people won't. You have thousands of restaurants. They will not feed anybody for free.
And I still do it from my pocket. You know, I was going to put out a post the other day like, oh, hey guys, again, feel free to donate, right? My mom was like, no, it looks like you're begging people. I said, Ma, the foundation is the one that hasn't, that's broke. It's not me. It's the foundation. They need money.
And there we go, right there.
You know, but I tell you one thing, I love the fact that I'm privileged to be able to do it from my pocket because I know everything else will come. When you decide to do anything to help raise humanity, all the doors of what you need happens. But when you're working for money, it seems like it runs from you because money, like I said yesterday, is the energy itself. It knows it only wants to be around people who likes to share it.
Yes. And when you talk about, okay, donate to the nonprofit. When you tell people this, they're like, but you already have money. It's not for me. It's coming out of my pocket. I'm the one who have to pay the storage to keep the stuff. I have to be the one to go pay for the food so I can give it out. I have to do, but they don't get it. It's coming out of our pocket.
That's one of the downsides, Camille, of people judging. Everybody wants to collect what you're giving, but nobody wants to play a role in helping other people. The users are real. It is so real and it is so dark. And it is devastating to a person that is giving because it forces you to live in the truth about people. You can help change 10 million people, but I can assure you, if it doesn't directly help them, they don't want no parts of helping you do it. But they speak it. They speak it. You know, and in the last 3 months, I've decided I'm not giving to people the way I normally do. I have been the girl you asked me to help. I do it. Yep. Reciprocation is the only thing I'm open to at this point. You don't have to tell me about nothing in your world. I'm not doing it because I've watched people not donate 50 cents who I know have it.
And they say, how can I help you? Oh, you're doing such a good job. Yeah. How can I help you? It's simple. I don't have to tell you. You see it. You see my QR code. Scan and donate. Scan and donate. Yesterday,
I don't even ask anymore because I know divine, the divinity of God will ensure that I help every. Let me tell you this here. I've already helped well over 10,000 people. I've helped probably 20 just on my own with everything that I do. Okay. I can assure you, I will do this across the world. And I can assure you that the reasoning for me seeing those who decided not to donate $2 to me is because they will see me. You know, we all love Oprah. Okay. They will see me expand even in that way. And I can assure you, this is God removing my ladder because my ladder right now, they all can swim up to me. They will have to know somebody to contact me in the future because this was their chance to align with my growth. And it was my opportunity in this classroom of life to see what people will do for me, even as I'm growing, even as I know and see that they're capable. And they said no for 50 cents.
That's a shame. That's a
But it
shame.
hasn't stopped me. I'm doing it every month and I'm okay. I will always have more than enough to
Yes.
share in this world.
That's
I'll
what I
always
said.
have what I need.
God
But
will
it's
always
constantly.
provide my needs, and He will always have an overflow, and I will always feed from my saucer. That's just it.
But it's pondering to see, to observe people. But I also understand that no one owes me anything. But I'm very thankful to God that I get the privilege of seeing, even when people are capable, they won't.
Mhm. We're both learning the same lesson. Now,
Well,
you
I
know,
learned this at an early age in life. That's why even when I do things, I don't really consider people. I knew it from when I was homeless. I mean, it's like when you're homeless, they run from you. I don't get it. It's like all these people say, oh, they have these foundations, they want to do this, they want to help, but I'm here. I don't even ask. I've had people ask me the same questions. What's your company name? Send me your link. Send me this here. Send me there. Take me there. And
nothing. Dust. It's okay. We're not going to worry about them.
yeah.
We're going to leave them to God and time, my grandmother said. I
Well,
leave you
no,
to God
they
and
didn't
time.
do anything wrong.
I will see you.
It's a lesson for me. That's how I look at it.
Yes.
I came into this world for all the experiences, and I signed up to see what it looks like when people ask you, but they're not willing to reciprocate. And see, because I'm so intentional for real with my character, it's hard for me to ask people to do something when I know I've not supported them. I just can't do it.
But you know what? You're right. But in my language, they said them are go tired to see my face because them always are going to see me. And that is it. They will always see my face, and I'm going to always be smiling, and I'm going to do what I need to do. Now, this is each one teach one powerful moment, and we're at the coming to the end because Nim is back there going like this. Okay. It's her birthday too, boss lady birthday.
Happy birthday
Happy
to you.
birthday, Nim. Happy birthday, Nim. We're coming to an
Have
end.
more joy and fun on this birthday than you've ever experienced because this is the only one you'll have at this age. So enjoy.
Enjoy it. And I know I'm going to sing at the end of it. You know that. I'm going to mess you up. And you're going to be like, oh, I don't want you to sing. You're going to mess up the video. I'm not going to sing them. Okay. So now, this is Each One Teach One podcast.
Yes.
And one of the thing that I want you to do for me is to tell them what is it that you're going to teach, but don't give them too much. Hold back a little bit. Just give them enough so they could understand they have to come. They have to reach out to you so they could learn what you have to teach.
Oh my goodness. I kind of something got in my eye. I'm sorry. I kind of touched bases on this earlier, but we talked about so many things. What I will say is that if you're going to listen to my advice, I would say number one, no matter what, you must believe that you're worthy for all of your potential thoughts. You're worthy of the thoughts you hold for yourself. Don't be influenced by the people around you who have not obtained any of what you're thinking. You can do it. And a lot of times those sidelines of people, they're set there in your life. They're in your life for the reason to test you. It's all a lesson. Oh, never look at it like it's punishment because it's not. It's just a lesson to help you evolve. No matter what, keep going. See, a lot of times we don't believe that we're worthy because we've not seen it in other people. And we've not been able to remember a time when we were successful. Okay. And a lot of times we keep repeating what we don't want to believe has become a habit. A lot of times we think that people have addictions only to alcoholism or drugs, but there is such a thing of an addiction of lack. And it's because you will consistently live in lack if you've never seen yourself successful. If you can't even think back to in grammar school when your teacher gave you a bunch of great grades and compliments of you being so wonderful, if you cannot remember that, bring that in your future present, it's hard to believe you're worthy. But no matter what, you will only live the worthiness of how you see yourself. That is my best advice. That is like the number one thing. In your mind, no matter what, see yourself as a success. See yourself as capable of doing it. Don't believe that you always need other people to help you. The world is filled with information on social media, just in definition as well. You can get all the answers that you need for anything. But you gotta believe you're worthy and capable of doing it. Nobody's going to bring you success. There's nobody waiting to help you. The thing is, you, your higher self, you must do it for you. That is the entry to all the doors, knowing you're supposed to be in.
That's it. That's it. That's it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for just dropping in here. I so appreciate you, my sister. I cannot wait for us to do this again. And when we do this again, it's going to be raw.
Me too. I can't wait. And thank you, because I always say this, in a world of options, you chose me. They can always go to my website, as you just had up there, chicagochickenshack.com. And on there, it's a link to our foundation page as well, which is Chicago
and donate.
Cares.
She's not going to ask you to donate. I am going to ask you to donate. No, I'm not.
I try not to.
I'm going to ask you to donate. Donate, because why? You can help someone else, because she's taking that out of her pocket. Out of her pocket.
And it does help with our mission. You know, our mission is to feed. And I appreciate you. They appreciate you. And you can always volunteer as well. If you're here, you can volunteer in the physical form. So we appreciate that. And our donations can be from, literally, I'll take it back, 50 cents.
50 cents.
10,000, or whatever you desire. It is all very much appreciated. We're really doing the work. That's the difference.
That's it. We're boot on the ground. We're not just one of those group that says, oh, I'm going to do this. She is doing it. She's boots on the ground. Look at her social media. Follow her on social media, and you see her on the ground running around. You might not see her in it because she's the one running around with the camera. She's the one in there taking the checkout. You're not going to see that unless somebody follow her. So if you want to see what she's doing, I dare you, go to Chicago and you ask her, when you see her, can I follow you for a day so you can see what's going on? It will drive you crazy, because she's a one woman army.
I really am. I have a team. It's a small one, but you're right. You're absolutely correct.
But thank you so much for coming. And
thank you for having me.
You have been such a gift to my audience. And I know they're going to have lots of questions, and they will be checking on you. And
hello to your audience again. And thank you for listening. And I hope that I was able to help change your moment in some kind of way. Thank you. Fabulous. The fabulous one. I woke up feeling fabulous. There you go.
Fabulous. Every time I hear it, I can just see you. I woke up feeling fabulous.
I love it. And I always think about you. But thank you for having me.
You're so welcome, my dear. So you have a blessed day, okay?
I plan on it.
All right. I'm expecting it. All right, guys. You know, today was a very uplifting and a very entertained moment. We all have a part that we have to play in life. God gave us a gift, but a lot of us tend to keep that gift. We don't want to share. But did you hear what she said? She said, when she wakes up, she said, show me the blessing that you have for me today. You know, it might come tomorrow, but I want to see what you have for me today. We have so much things to offer. You are what you think. So stay positive. And guess what? You know, it's my assistant birthday today. And she's going to be mad at me for doing this. But before she cut me off, happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday, Nim. Thank you so much for what you do. You have always had my back. And no matter what happened, you showed up on time. Today's your birthday, and you showed up to make sure Shatira and I had a good time. We connected. The audience connected well. Honey, thank you so much for all that you do for me and my family and my companies. We appreciate you so much. Happy birthday. Now, guys, stay blessed, stay safe, and stay absolutely fabulous, darlings. And I'll see you next time. Bye.